For those of you that have been a part of my newsletter community for a while, you know where I am. For those that are new, welcome to Pololu, this magical place. Here, I'll try not to get you seasick. This is where I teach in the mornings when we have students on retreat. This is one of our mini classrooms that we use. Come here for sunrise. As you can see, it's about to start happening here. And oh my goodness, am I grateful to be home. Oof. And so excited to be bringing students here in just a few weeks. We'll have another beautiful group coming. Hey, this week's question comes from you. It's a lovely one. I thought I'd deviate a little bit and just get back to how this all started way back when. Somebody sent a question saying, what's the hardest thing about being an actor? And they're not talking about surviving, they're talking about the craft, technically. You know, what's the hardest thing? And that's easy. The hardest thing, that answer is easy. It's to not anticipate what's coming, so you can have a truthful reaction. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard it is to read a script, memorize it, rehearse it, do it over and over, take after take, or if it's a theater piece, night after night, and not anticipate what's coming? Forget the next line, the next moment. I'm talking about the big reveal, the big, your wife's cheating on you, you're dying, you're fired, you won $1 million. Right? Do you know how hard that is to react truthfully under this imaginary circumstance that you've experienced a bunch of times? My dear friend and faculty member Nia Peoples, she's had a 40-year career in television and film. She's like, we know how hard that is. When she found out I did one show, I've done a show for over 20 years and 1,000 performances, she about fell over. She's like, how in the hell do you do that? And it's not glorifying me, it's my teacher. I said, I'm incredibly well trained by the genius of Sanford Meisner. This is an infomercial for the Meisner Technique, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's at the core of his genius. Sandy early on was like, shit, man, you know what everybody does? You wanna know what most acting, as soon as you show up at an acting class, they start handing you a script. They put you more in your head than ever before. Sandy said nothing believable or interesting will ever happen until two actors are truly present with each other. To be a world-class actor, man, you've got to have a world-class instrument to play, and you are that instrument. He would say, and what's talent for an actor? It's childlike imagination, because it's all make-believe, freakish concentration, the ability to be present right here, to not be thinking about what's coming, is your only chance of having a truthful reaction. And then the final pillar or tenet, oh, this is way better than me. The final pillar or tenet, where's that? Sunrise, there we go, of talent is highly sensitive to your imagination, sensitive to what's being said to you, sensitive to the moment. So again, that you can have to care, to care. I'm thinking of a great teacher, Sandy's. He's like quoting Hamlet, to be or not to be, and he did it a very monotone, to be or not to be. To be or not to be. He was basically trying to teach a student who was just like, just got nothing. Nothing. He's going, look, man, if you don't care, we don't care. You got to care. If you want to be an actor, you got to care. You gotta feel big, care big. I mean, everything doesn't have to be over the top. It's not. In fact, nothing has to be over the top. You just can't be like blasé about life. Otherwise, who in the hell wants to watch that? So anyway, I'm in the weeds a little bit, right? But Sandy said, look, I'm not going to begin to teach craft or how to break down a script or character or script analysis, anything of that stuff. That stuff doesn't come till second year, truly, in the training. And because what's the point if you're all in your heads thinking about stuff? So can you imagine the best analogy, the best way to describe it is having a surprise party. Right? If you're at a surprise party and truly genuinely surprised, right? And it's like, whoa, what a moment. And all of a sudden they go, oh, your parents weren't here yet. Okay, let's do it again. They're here now. And you got to come through the door and act like it didn't happen yet. You imagine? That's our job. That's our job. Night after night, or take after take. Or even worse, hell, at least you had that moment. Can you imagine with actors, we don't even get that first moment. It's like the surprise is blown. You know the surprise party is coming this coming Friday night. You got to walk through that door and act surprised. And then they're going to recreate it Saturday night and Sunday night, and it's going to be a 2-week run of your surprise party. Good luck, right? So there's a little peek behind the curtain. That's the hardest thing about being an actor. One of the many hard things, but that's one of the most difficult ones, is non-anticipation. That's hard. You gotta be so incredibly present to not anticipate what's coming. What a sunrise. Oh. There you go. Isn't that the best? Hope you have a blessed week. Hope that helps those of you that care at all about acting. Hey, and for those of you that don't, sometimes it's fun to just hear this stuff, right? I hope so. Okay.